足を打ちつけてもギブアップしません。
And those whose lungs hadn't already filled with water were given an opportunity to put that right, as special clips were inserted to keep their nostrils wide open while they were chained to a wooden frame in the path of the incoming tide. Contestants whose nostrils are not by now filled with sand from the wave-churned beach are given a chance to fill them with pepper, as willing helpers upturn jumbo-sized pepper pots into the contestants' faces. Those contestants who didn't pull down their little I give up flags were allowed to take the wrecked remains of their bodies on to the next round, where the organisers planned to clear their sinuses of both sand and pepper. As the always smiling frontman shows them first a series of tennis balls, then beach balls dangling from a frame so that they'll hit anyone passing underneath them on the head. The beach balls are followed with heavy unripe melons, and the unripe melons are followed with sharp-edged bricks. To prove to the watching contestants just how lethal the various dangling objects are, the organisers do a trial run with a load of dummies.
Engine, start! Yo!
Now he's scratching his head because he's just beginning to realise that maybe he's a bigger dummy than the one that's just been decapitated by a sharp-edged brick. But it's too late. If he chickens out now, he'll bring eternal shame on his university. Having got one of the contestants to explain just how painful it was, the front man points out to the bewildered little chap that the real bricks had actually been replaced by rubber ones just before the race. Now, you have to remember that the essence of a good game show in Japan is to pack out the physical torture with plenty of mental torture. His pride hurt much more than his head would ever have done, even if a real brick had hit it. But never mind, refreshment is on the way. Lots and lots of beer, which is served in 2-gallon plastic tankards. Of course, the last one to drown gets through into the next round. And I don't have to say, do I, children, don't try any of this at home. Connoisseurs of endurance will have guessed what happens next. With beer-filled bladders about to burst, the contestants are forced to run around the field until they can imagine nothing worse. Something worse, however, turns up, as it always did on endurance, in the shape of a horse or two, upon which the contestants have to jar and jog their distended stomachs until pain turns to agony. I don't know exactly what he said in Japanese, but that look of relief is the same all over the world. There were now only 3 contestants remaining in the contest, and to prepare them for the final round, the organisers had to be sure that any fat reserves that the students may have somehow retained during the contest were well and truly worked off at this gymnasium. And any contestant who fails to shed 6 pounds will be knocked out of the competition. Now, they're all by now seriously dehydrated, but they've been led to believe that this unpleasant condition will soon be relieved in the final round during an eating and drinking competition. It's only when they enter the restaurant gates in their elegant dining clothes that they realise the winner will be decided as the result of a non-eating and non-drinking competition. Yes, it's the same portable plastic starvation booth that's been set up for previous contestants on the beach in Bali and on the Paris pavement. As the happy host now explains, it's to be their home for the next 24 hours. As dust settles, they're at last shown drinking water, but they're not allowed out of the plastic booth to lick it off the pavement. "24 hours later, after a cold night spent on the bare wooden floor, the bleary-eyed contestants are offered breakfast. Cold noodles are sluiced past their hungry faces along a metal slide, while they're urged to slop some noodles into a jar of soy sauce, gulp them down, and so be thrown out of the contest. The 2 remaining contestants, sobbing quietly, were taken off to face each other across a table of food until one of them gave up. There's nothing like a happy ending. And the Japanese game show Endurance never had anything like a happy